Hey everybody, welcome back to Roto City Tech, and we had gotten a few comments asking to talk about the camper, any updates that we've done or anything that we've had go wrong with it and stuff. So I've done quite a bit of little upgrades and little fixes to it, even more than the videos that I've shown that I've already posted. So I wanted to do a quick video about the pros and cons and if we would change anything, and then also show you all the updates that we have done. And also last month we had a really good month on the channel. We had a lot of new subscribers, a lot of minutes viewed, and I just wanted to thank everybody for clicking on these videos. The camping videos in particular had a lot of views, so thank y'all very much. So our camper, as y'all know, is a Forest River Cherokee Wolf Pup 16 VHS. Going into this camper, we knew that it was like a budget-friendly camper, and it was going to have some cool things about it, but a lot of it was going to be stuff that we would probably have to sacrifice because we weren't willing to spend a lot more money. But we knew that going in, so all of these cons on the list are things that I knew that were going to be lacking, but after living with it for a little bit, realized that the next camper we get, we probably want some of those features. So, starting out, got my phone here, we got storage. So, it kind of seems like there's quite a bit of storage. I mean, we've got cabinets all up here and back behind you and then over here. But we tend to put like clothes or blankets or supplies of sorts, and they fill up really fast. And then we're finding out that we are not having a lot of space for food or stuff, like if we're gonna be going camping for a week here at the end of the month, and so we're gonna have to figure out how to do that. There are no drawers, pull-out drawers, which is kind of annoying. I didn't really think about that in the first place. You know, sometimes they have them below the sink or something, but there's nothing there. There's no cabinet for like hanging clothes. Again, we knew that, but and a lot of that also has to do with this bunk here. When we put the bunks in, it takes up so much space, especially when you're not using those bunks for what they're intended to be used for. But we knew we didn't want to upgrade campers very soon, and if we're going to be having people sleep in here or eventually kids or something, we wanted to have that already there. So we can just use that area to store clothes, and it's not going to be a big deal. But yes, no closet or anything to hang clothes. But you're camping, so you don't have to worry about hanging clothes. It's okay. The width of the camper. As you can see, we're sitting here at the dinette. This camper's only about 7 feet wide, and we knew that, but there are some that have no slides that are about 8 feet, and the dinette is going to be double this, or not quite double, but you can fit 4 adults. Here, it's going to be a tight squeeze. If I sit here normally up against the wall, I mean, I maybe have another 8 inches or so next to me, so a child or something, it'll still be cramped. So we've found that we kind of want the bigger dinette. It's perfectly fine for a couple. We still love it, and it'll be fine. But the next thing is the trailer jack. It's just a manual one. If we would have jumped up the next level, or we could have upgraded it at the dealership and got an electric one, but I was like, we don't need an electric one. But I'm finding that I really want one now. So I'm probably going to install one soon on a video. A couple $100 to raise and lower the front of the trailer. Let's see here. Shallow sink and the countertop stove. So if we pop over here, this sink, like I said, it's just kind of shallow. Not a huge deal for what little camping we do, but I have seen in the 2020 models, I believe, they have changed this. They have better sinks, and I think they might even be stainless. I can't remember if that new one had it, but they are a little bit bigger. They also upgraded the stovetop, I believe. This one just sits up here. I'm pretty sure they changed to a flush countertop, and I think it has 3 burners. So that's really nice. But this setup, these are pretty nitpicky items. They're perfectly livable and workable. No magnet catches or whatever they're called. On the doors outside, when you open them to get into the cargo, there's like these plastic hooks that you have to hold the lid up and then hook it. Versus the next level up, you just typically open the door and rest it against the camper, and the magnets keep it. Pretty small, picky thing, but that would be nice to have on here. The black tank flush. So there was not one on this camper. I installed one, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Doesn't seem like a hard thing for the manufacturer to just put that nozzle in and put those lines in to have black tank flush. So that would have been pretty nice. But we're going to move on to the pros, and there's many of them because we are pretty fond of this camper. So budget friendly, very cheap. You can find these depending on where you are, brand new, from about $11,000 to about $15,000 depending on where you are in the country. So super affordable. Modern design. They got the nice kind of dark cabinets and the light countertops and the gray upholstery. So it's very modern in here. We love that. It is spacious for the size of camper. It's not very big, but the aisle is quite large, and you're not running into each other too often. And you can fit 5 people in here to sleep. So it is pretty spacious for the size of this camper. It's got a power awning, which is great. It's got the LED lights that go underneath it, which are awesome. The speakers inside and out, and you can tell the music where to go. And you can hook up via Bluetooth right up here, which is pretty awesome. USB chargers, they're all over this place. There's some back here by the master. There's back here, each bunk. Yeah, right there. Each bunk has a dual set of USB where you can plug in your phone. So that's really awesome to have. And lightweight, you know, 3,500 pounds, I believe, dry. So we have a Toyota 4Runner and an FJ Cruiser. Both of those can tow 5,000 pounds. So as long as we have an equalizer hitch and some anti-sway, we're good to go. Also, another pro is the refrigerator and freezer. It's a double, you know, it's got a dedicated freezer and fridge combo versus just the typical smaller combination. So that is a very nice addition, as well as a stainless microwave. That's pretty cool. So another pro we have is, if you look over here, these stairs. These are upgraded stairs that just came with the camper. So they just fold up into the door, and they've got these 2 legs that can adjust the length of them, and they rest on the ground versus the fold out steps that when you step on it and the camper shakes. So this actually rests on the ground, which is very handy to have. Changes. I thought of a couple changes that I would have liked to seen from the manufacturer, since it doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal. And we'll jump back here in the bathroom real quick. So in the bathroom, you can see we do have a skylight right here, but in some of these campers, they're able to put a skylight in the shower. And so you'll see once I get in here, I mean, my head is almost hitting the top. I'm only about 9.5 or so. It would have been cool to have like a skylight the whole size of this, so you just didn't feel so crowded. It's gonna work fine. Also, I'm just kind of noticing that I wish this shower enclosure would have went all the way to the edge of the wall, just to protect this part a little bit better. But, you know, no big deal. We put in a little storage thing here, which is going to be pretty nice to have. And also the other thing that I would have changed is to have this backup camera ready. A lot of campers will have a little place where you can mount a backup camera, and they have all the wiring and stuff where you can just hook it up. This was not ready for that, and I had to install a whole system myself, which I can go over in the next, or in a video. I had to get a new receiver, so I have to redo that system, but I will show you all that. Well, you'll be able to see the camera here in a minute. But let's step outside. I want to show you all of the upgrades that we've done. Alright, so real quick, I'm going to show you some of the changes that I have already done on this camper that I had talked about before. And I've got individual videos coming out showing how I did these changes, but I just wanted to give you an overview. So, starting out, this camper only had one propane tank. Now, obviously it has two, and I just bought the new base plate and installed it on the camper. You can see in here, now we've got two full bottles of propane, so we can last longer when we're out camping. And then the second thing, if I'll come over here, right here, this red switch is a battery disconnect. So before, when I would park the camper when it's in storage or something, I would always have to take this top off and disconnect the battery so that it wouldn't drain the battery. Just sitting here, just some of the phantom draining. And so I installed this battery disconnect, and all you do is flip it and you're on green, and now your camper has power. Flip it back and now you have disconnected the battery. So again, I have a video of that coming up showing you how I installed that. This is a pretty simple addition. This is just a 90-degree water so that when you stick your city connection in, the weight of the hose is not pulling on this connection, and that the gravity of it will just put all the pressure right there. Pretty simple. Back here, this might be a little difficult to see, but I'm going to take you under and show you the black tank flush. So there is what I installed. I had to drill a hole and install this where you just hook up a hose, and it's got a nozzle inside, and when you turn the water on, it sprays water in every direction to help rinse out your black tank. So that is a nice addition. And in the very back, this is just a receiver I installed to put a little storage rack. You don't want to put much weight on this bumper. Usually I just carry a little bit of firewood or something. But right here is my backup camera that I installed. And this is just to help me see who's behind me, because with the 4Runner pulling, we don't have very good mirrors to see directly behind us. So I installed this camera, and it seemed to work all right, but I had to redo it. But that was the quickest way to install that. So in closing, this camper really fits what we had in mind for our first camper. It's able to sleep plenty of people. It provides us with enough room. It's a full camper queen up front. It's got everything you need. It's got the big cargo door in the back that we loved. So we wouldn't necessarily go back. I would definitely buy this camper again. We have loved it. It has had its quirks from each trip we've taken, but I'm pretty sure that's every single camper. You're gonna have issues with your water heater or, you know, different things. But that's just kind of the life of an RV. These things get pulled down the road, everything shakes, there's no telling what can happen. But overall, this camper has been really awesome. We've taken it to a few different places. We have yet to go on a big trip, which is happening at the end of this month. We're gonna be gone for about a week in 2 different locations. So that is going to be the true test of this camper. But for right now, it's got a good AC, it's got a good heater, and the bed's comfortable. So everything is really good. So I highly recommend, if anybody's looking for a budget-friendly, easily towable, even family-orientated camper, this is a good choice, because you can get the kids back here and the parents up there, good to go. So thank y'all for watching.